Hello, welcome to Career Day. I'd like to start by welcoming my panel of 7 students to this presentation. I'd like to start by asking you, why are businesses in business? Why do they operate? Any ideas?
To make money?
Yes, to make money, exactly. Now, if you were a business owner, would you like to know if you're making money or losing money? I think so. I don't think anyone would want to be in a business. I wouldn't want to be in a business just to lose money. The idea is to be making money. And I've been answering that question for business owners for the last 12 years as a cost accountant. Now, as a cost accountant, I know many times when I'm asked what I do for a living, I say a cost accountant, I'm asked, oh, so you do taxes. Well, I prepare my own taxes once a year, but I don't prepare taxes for a living. When you hear the term accountant, what comes to mind?
Money.
Money.
Numbers.
Numbers.
Counting.
Counting, yes. How about taxes? Making payments for businesses? Generally, those are the activities of a general accountant. The general accountant will make sure that a business's payments get made on time, and they also make sure that the business collects the correct amount of money from their customers. There are also tax accountants. Tax accountants make sure that a company prepares and pays the correct amount of taxes to the government. There are also auditors. Auditors make sure that all the other accountants are doing their jobs correctly, especially the cost accountant. Now, the cost accountant calculates the profit or the loss. The profit is that amount of money that is left after you pay your bills. So if there's money left, you're in profit. If there's no money left, you're losing. Now, the important thing about the profit is that it's also the number that the government uses to determine how much taxes you have to pay. And that's why it makes it such an important number to the auditor, to make sure that the cost accounting is getting done fairly. Now, how does a cost accountant do their work fairly? Well, the bulk of the work comes down to calculating cost, whether it be tracing costs or allocating costs. Let's suppose, for example, that we have a business that makes donuts and bread loaves. And we operate in a building where half of it goes to making breads and the other half goes to making donuts. If it costs us $25 to make a batch of donuts, how would we know that? We would probably know that because we know how much money we spent in purchasing the materials to make a batch of donuts. We know what the price would be of flour and how many pounds of flour we need. So those are called direct costs, and we can trace that. We can calculate exactly how much it costs us in materials. Now, let's take this a step further. Let's assume that we pay $1,000 in rent for this building where we manufacture the donuts and the bread loaves, and exactly half of the building goes to the donuts and the other half goes to produce the bread. If we have a 50-50 split in the building, how much of the $1,000 in rent do you think we should fairly charge to the bread making business?
$500.
Exactly, $500. That is called allocating costs. Because we have split our building in half by 50%, we are allocating 50% of our rent to the operation of making bread and the other 50% to the operation of making the donuts. Congratulations, you have just done activities of a cost accountant. Now, cost accounting can be very simple. And sometimes some businesses are so simple that they just need to consult with a cost accountant to help them make that calculation. Other businesses are so complex that they actually require an entire team of many cost accountants to make sure that the costs are getting calculated correctly. Are there any questions? Yes.
How does it impact the world?
How does it impact the world? Well, it impacts the world because whether it is making money in a business or whether it is working in the government, regardless of the operation that you're in, every operation needs to understand what it costs to do what it is that they do, whether it's a service or whether you actually build something. Yes?
About how much money does a cost accountant make a year?
A cost accountant out of college in Southern California can expect to earn anywhere between $40,000 and $50,000 a year. However, as they get more experience and they get a certification known as a certification of managerial accountants, then at that point they're making anywhere between $100,000 and $130,000 a year. Yes.
How many years of study for you in order to become a cost accountant or even be certified as one?
In order to get into the accounting field, you would do a 4-year degree in accounting. And thereafter, it generally will take about 18 months to do the preparation for the certification exam, which, just like the CPA, is done under an organization, and it's a very long and lengthy exam. One of the things that may also help boost your career in accounting is getting a master's degree. You can get a master's in accounting or a master's in business. And that will add, again, another 18 months or 18, 24 months, depending on how aggressively you pursue your studies. I'd like to thank you all for your contribution and your great questions. Thank you.